Hello and welcome to the Accountants Mastermind. In this video, I'm going to be talking to Richard Wilson Artis, and we are going to be talking about how gamifying part of the Bounce Mastermind group helped him achieve more in the month and what it means to him by implementing some kind of game within his practice. So let's get started. So today I am joined by Richard, who is our superstar of the month. Richard, could you just introduce yourself and tell us a bit about you and your practice?
So I've been going about 10 years. It's me, my wife part-time as the other directors of marketing support services, and then we've got a team of five. We general practice, non-audit. We have some specialisms: food and beverage, social media, property, but like most people, to be honest, we'll do a bit of anything.
Excellent. Whereabouts are you based?
Within Manchester. We're fully office based. Staff are mainly training at various different levels.
Brilliant, thank you. And you've been a member of Bounce for around 18 months, if I remember right. And I think it was the first year at Accountex when you first signed up. So you've been with us for 18 months. And the reason, obviously, that you got Superstar of the Month was there was lots of involvement in utilising Coach Accountable, which is our sort of accountability program. But by setting 68 throughout the month of October, 68 actions that you've set, and you managed to complete 37 of those within the space of the month. So there was a massive intake of getting actions, getting things done, I think is the easiest way. We obviously during that month introduced gamifying the actions. So we were we played battleships. And so before we implemented the game, the sort of the fun aspect of it and the competition, I guess, how was you feeling sort of getting actions done and setting them and using Coach Accountable?
So, what did you say I did? 37 out of 68 in October. So you'll be able to check this, but in the 17 months prior, I probably set less than 6 and completed less than 3.
Low number, I remember.
And it was always one of those things that was there. I know most people used it. Everyone was banging on about it in the WhatsApp groups. And I was just sort of like, yeah, I know, but I know I'm supposed to, but I'm just not got around to doing it. And then obviously you brought out the battleships, and I was like, right, I ought to do this. I ought to there's some competitiveness now. I'm going to nail it. And obviously did. But then since that finished on whenever it was, like 29th, 30th of October, so we're 2 weeks into November. I don't think I'm back to my normal. I don't think I've set anything. I don't think I've completed anything. I've potentially moved on a couple of things to a later date, but yeah, I've just gone back to not actually doing anything, which shows what a difference putting that competitive gaming lean on it is. And so that's definitely something that I'm going to do at work. I just need to work out how to bring it in and what the metric is for people being able to obviously play the game, just what that looks like. But yeah, it worked for me, so there's no reason why it shouldn't for everyone else.
During the process of the game, I think it would be fair to say that from my perspective, there was various different reasons why people get involved, but I think it really kind of triggered your competitive edge. Is that a fair?
Yeah, it was sort of, I don't know, subconsciously it was that. Consciously it was like, oh right, there's actually a sort of a public reason to do it. Like, yeah, there's actually a reason to do it other than I'm just procrastinating and not doing stuff I should be. So yeah, does that make it competitive? Yeah, I suppose it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Okay. So you had well, you obviously won the you had the highest points tally, but also you won the spot prize as well, because I think you were uh, keen to play the game, but like you say, I think the element of encouraging you to do it, which is obviously why we brought it in. How do you think it will help your team?
I think so. At the minute, we have the like thermometers on the charts on the wall for, I think we've got about 6 different things, and so everyone's got like their own colours and colours in when we've done different things, and that occasionally gets people a bit competitive, but more in the sort of the negative connotation, like, that person's, pull your socks up, you need to like do some more. I think this will help with, cut out the pause. I think this will help in a different way, in a more sort of, I think how I'm going to use it is like doing tasks, or like when we move to engage, or like the number of tasks you've ticked off, you get a go, so that it's more of going to be a productivity and efficiency, not necessarily efficiency, a productivity display, rather than a like black and white jobs out, jobs out, jobs out sort of thing.
Yeah. It's a bit of fun so that they feel involved and want to get stuff done as opposed to having to do it.
Yeah,
Would that be a fair?
yeah. The thermometers we use at the minute, it's sort of like a month end thing. Like, this month, did we hit all the thermometer targets?
Yeah.
Rather than like an ongoing sort of table, an ongoing like scorecard. How am I doing against everyone else, sort of thing.
Hmm. There was an interesting. You've just reminded me of something there. There's an interesting thing about the why all football teams and rugby teams, all sports teams have a constant scoreboard. Because if you think about football, it rarely goes above 2 or 3 each side, so it's not difficult for fans to know that it's 1-0, but it encourages them to be more involved in the game. I can't remember the exact wording, but for me, it's quite interesting. So that element that you've just talked about there, having a constant scoreboard and updated, and obviously that was the thing that we tried to do with the battleship games, is constantly update it and create it a bit of fun, but also allowing people to win, so making it as easy as we could for people to win, is also the thing, because if it becomes too difficult, people lose interest quite quickly.
I have to say, every day you update, or however long it was, you updated it, and you said like, you named the top 5 or the top 3, but didn't put points there. And so I was always like, oh god, good, I'm still there. But you didn't put the points, so I wasn't like, oh, I can just not do anything the rest of the month. I was like, oh god, how close are people? I better keep going.
Yeah, and there's obviously a lot of stuff that's kind of deliberately done to keep it open, because you don't want somebody running away with it and then discourage anybody else. It's always a fine balance, but making it easy to win. So if there was a game that you would suggest that anybody watching this, any accountants watching this that are struggling perhaps with productivity or getting things done in their practice, what would the one game that you think you would bring in?
Well, I guess game-wise, it would be something like this. We've had the thermometers that have worked really well. We've had those sort of 6 months or so. But as I say, they are very much people speed up on the last week of the month, rather than an ongoing sort of, let's personally make sure I'm being productive the whole time. I do see lots of unproductivity in the office, and I think this sort of like a constant, like, it's the internal beast, isn't it? The want to like succeed. People that don't that maybe don't want to do that just for their own want to progress and do well. I think like this sort of inner competitiveness will hopefully bring that out.
Yeah, I think there's two parts to it that you appeal to. There's probably two different parts. One is the competitive side, and one is the fun. And I think there were some that involved themselves because they were a little bit competitive and wanted to win and wanted to get there first. And there was a few people that did it because it was a bit of fun and made it a bit more exciting. And I think and also the mix of the two. Obviously, everyone had a mix of the two, but there was definitely that. So no, really appreciate your time on this. And as I say, thank you very much and well done for being our superstar of the month and for engaging in, I think, everything we do. You know, the actions, the all the resources that we put out there, and also supporting your fellow Bounce members in the WhatsApp group. So thank you very much for your time.
I just have to say, I never ever thought that I would get Superstar of the Month, mainly because I never ever did anything on Accountable. So thank you for bringing the gaming month.
Very welcome. You're very welcome, and look forward to speaking to you very soon.
Right.